handle the truth.
When you put cameras right in our face, like, we really don't know what to say.
Oh, supposed to say something?
I ain't got nothing to say.
Come talk to me today.
Respond what you say.
You want me to say something?
I got the mic.
I got nothing to say. I'm not real hard.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Let's go, guys. It's a game. It's a game out here on the play here.
Someday with experience, we'll have something funny to say.
Pull out your recorders and hide your children's eyes. You're about to enter the afternoon locker room. Happy New Year, everybody. It is I, the somewhat admired cool one, something like that. well, oh, and a foul. Welcome to the first brand new edition of the Afternoon Locker Room for 2015. Yes, sir, we have finally crossed the new year. Bowl season is just about over, and I got to tell you, I am loving Colts. Goes, hey, give me a buzz, 573-200-6505, 573-200-6505. Now I know what the heck is wrong in here. I got the AC on high as hell, and doggone well, it's cold to the ham biscuit outside. So we going to rectify that right by now. Don't you just hate that sometimes? You'd be trying to make yourself comfortable, and all of a sudden you realize, you know what, son? It just might not be exactly what you're looking for right about now. Well, you know, when you get my age, you got to make adjustments. Anywho, don't forget to hit us on Twitter at ASN Plus or at Arena Sportsnet. And the Facebook page is the Afternoon Locker Room. But first, you know that old Boyz II Men track, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, which actually is a remake of the same track from, I believe it's the movie Cooley High. Well, we got our moment sometime on Sunday morning when legendary ESPN anchor Stuart Scott, a Chicago native, no doubt, made his expected but untimely transition due to his long fight with cancer. He, just like Whitney Houston 2 years before, was only 49. He leaves his two wonderful kids, Sydney and Tanya. And the moving speech that he made at the ESPYs this past summer when he received the Perseverance Award was nothing short of tear-jerking, heart-wrenching. And if you read between the lines, there may have been a little finality to it. But make no mistake, the impact that Stuart Scott made, not only on his employers at ESPN, a spot he's been at since 1993. The impact of him being Greg Gumbel would have still been at ESPN. I'm just saying. And I can tell you from the first booyah that I heard him say, I had to say to myself, wait a minute. This is different. Then came some of the other catchphrases like, as cool as the other side of the pillow. One of my personal favorites, can I get a witness from the congregation? And those of the Shanae variety remember this particular classic. See what it was. You know, just classic stuff from someone who, through his own hard work, made himself a classic. And the tributes that still continue to pour in from all over the place just show you just how impactful Stuart Scott's career was and still is. Take a short break. I've got Brian Snow from the Snowman in the Morning Show waiting on our Verizon Wireless hotline. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with him as we continue our remembrance of the legendary Stuart Scott. Don't move a muscle. This is the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz and only on the Arena Sports Network.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz. And that's where we come in.
Back here on the Afternoon Locker Room, our first news show of the new year, 2015. Glad you could come along. This is the Afternoon Locker Room presented by Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Portions of this show brought to you by LaPorte County Life and LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? Again, as we say, guests appear here on the program courtesy of the Verizon Wireless hotline, Verizon Wireless, and our friends at the Cellular Connection in Michigan City. Proud to help you get on board America's most trusted 4G LTE network. Speaking of connections, on the line with me right now from the Snowman in the Morning Show, Brian Snow. Catch him every morning, 9 a.m. Brian, what's up, man?
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Well, we tried. You know, it do what it do. Or I think it do what it do.
I had a chance to see my little one over the Christmas holidays.
Attaboy.
The rest of the year.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, she woke up. She woke up Christmas morning. I zipped down to see Liz. Liz knew the surprise was on, and when she woke up Christmas morning and saw Daddy, even though Daddy was asleep, yeah, Daddy became a 6'5" jungle gym.
Uh-oh.
I'm so happy to see that little girl. And one of the first things I'm going to tell her when she gets older, I'm going to use the Stuart Scott phrase. When she asked me, what happened before when you weren't here? You see, what had happened was...
Oh, man.
So, me seeing her and Liz for the Christmas holiday was my booyah.
There you go.
But the best tributes so far, because there are going to be many, many more, and I'm going to use a couple phrases tonight when I cover Marquette Catholic as they host Hanover Central and girls basketball at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. The best tribute was done by Rich Eisen of the NFL Network when he did the highlight package with Cincinnati and Indianapolis and just laced it with Stuart Scott catchphrases. I couldn't stop watching it. I watched it, I can honestly say I watched it like 4 or 5 times. You know, just hearing how much of an impact Stuart had with Rich, because they did SportsCenter together for 7 years. They did SportsCenter together.
Yeah, and mind you, there wasn't a primetime SportsCenter either.
No, it wasn't.
But I think what helped those two, especially Stewart, is that late night SportsCenter was also morning drive repeat.
How much fun did those two have together doing SportsCenter, man?
You know, Rich Eisen said it best this morning on the Mike and Mike show. So here I am, just a Jewish kid from Brooklyn who's broadcasting out. It was Marv Albert, and he threw in a Seinfeld reference, and Stuart Scott looked at him like, "What?" And then Rich Eisen said, "What?" And then Stuart said, "Brothers don't watch Seinfeld." I'm like, okay, that's when you knew. That's when you knew.
Man, those two together were fun to watch.
You know, I mean, not only that, and we're talking with Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning here via the Verizon Wireless hotline on the afternoon locker room presented by Gigahertz. As Stewart's stature grew in the company, at that point, it didn't matter who the heck he was paired with.
No, it didn't.
You know, granted, the Eisen-Scott pairing was a classic one. Wow. Uh-oh.
I couldn't wait to watch the late night SportsCenter with Stu and Rich Eisen, because as informative as it was, you were going to be cracking up for the whole hour.
Yeah, yes, you were.
You were going to be cracking up for the whole hour because they fed off each other so well. You know? They fed off of each other so well.
I mean,
and the stature of those two kept getting bigger and bigger, and it seemed like every night they would come up with something different. They'd run with it, and it worked.
But notice how it changed the culture at ESPN.
It did.
All right. You went from straight men like Bob Lee